Welcome back to Louisiana Football TV Magazine. First thing I'd like to say tonight is I'd like to dedicate our show tonight to a young man that lost his life over the weekend. Lance Thomas, defensive tackle from Scotlandville, was in a wreck and died. And so, you know, Jimmy, we're going to have in a minute, we're going to show some clips of our show last week. Actually, that's Lance there. That was on our show last Tuesday night. Great young guy, touched me, great kid. You know, our condolences go out to his mom and dad and his family, and you know, I hope, you know, Scotlandville, you know, has a great game this Friday, and I'm sure they will. And this kid he's on pace. He could have been the district player of the year on defense this year. He was a 4-year starter.
It's just amazing, and such a tragedy that they lose him anytime, but especially going into the playoffs like this.
So we want to dedicate our show to Lance, and they lost a great young man, a great football player, great kid. Energized this show last week where everybody was touched, and like this guy acted like he was 30 years old in front of the camera. Before we go on with the interview, Kimmy, I want to talk some football with you because you're going to be doing a game this week, Christian Life in Montgomery at Christian Life.
Excited about it.
I'm going to predict 1 to 5A. Start at 5A or 1A, do you think? 1A?
Go 1A.
Let's go 1A. 1A is going to be South Plaquemines, and I'm going to tell you why real quickly. They're the fastest team in the state. If you're the coach of South Plaquemine, you're the opponent, go to a track meet, film it, show your team what you're going to play that night, because that's how fast South Plaquemine, their O-line's only 180, but they all run 4.640s. 2A, John Curtis Christian in River Ridge. They're not the most talented team, but they're the best team. They're going to play Evangel. Evangel's just great talent. You hear it every year. Evangel's going to do this. Curtis can't stop them. They just run the ball, but they control the clock. So Evangel's offense won't get the repetitions, just like LSU didn't get the ball as much because Saban controlled the clock. In 3A, I'm going to pick Parkview Baptist, who lost to Redemptus, and I think Redemptus might be the second best team in 3A who beat them, and they might play again.
Quarterfinals, we're looking hard at it, that's for sure.
I'm only doing it because Parkview's O-line averages 270. They control the clock. Good quarterback. Drew Dillio's a great, dangerous weapon. Their signee on offensive line is going to LSU next year, but they got a good defense. Lutcher's a sleeper team in 3A. In 2A, 3A, we talked about 1A. In 4A, Bastrop. Bastrop has owned high school football for 3 years. They're going to own it again. Post Randall Mackey. He's going to do a good job. The new quarterback is Reuben Randall, who's really a wide receiver, and the next Michael Clayton. And 5A, I'm taking Destrehan. I think it's a tough draw this week for Dutchtown to play Hahnville, which is in their district. Isn't that a shame to play a team in your district?
It really is. And,
start out the playoffs.
Start off the playoffs like that, I think it's a difficult thing for a team to do. You like to see somebody else, I think.
Your game, Christian Life. Since we got the predictions, I know we're going to get calls. People might be angry, but, you know, that's kind of the teams that I thought would win.
I think it's very good predictions. And I think we'd be lucky to see, maybe in this area, we may just see Bastrop versus McKinley in round 2, and we may get to see Destrehan and Denham Springs in round 2.
And Denham's at Scotlandville's in. Catholic's not in. You went to Catholic.
Did go
You're
to
a graduate of 90, right?
Right, correct.
You ran track.
Ran track
with the Northwestern State in Natchitoches.
Yeah, enjoyed it very much.
What do you think of Catholic not being in after,
since,
what, 87?
I think so. It's been 21 years since they've been in the playoffs, straight years. Dale Weiner's just done a tremendous job with that program. And sometimes any program is going to have to rebuild a little bit.
You've got Dunham not in the playoffs for the first time.
That was a surprise. I was expecting Dunham to be in there, especially they got their new stadium, and Joey Thibodeau does such a great job with that group.
Woodlawn was a point away from being in the playoffs.
They were disappointed.
A power point, or a half of a power point.
Half a point, yeah. It was very close. Scotlandville got in over Woodlawn, of course.
You know, you got some great Donaldsonville is ranked highly.
Can't wait to see a possible rematch of Donaldsonville and St. James in the quarters.
St. James lost everything and came back, and they're in. They got a great coach, Rick Gailey, who's a great coach. I'll ask Ro Brown about Rick Gailey. They have a coach on in the show in New Orleans for their WGSO radio show. But a lot of teams in, a lot of good football. You see Central's going to be playing West Jefferson of New Orleans. West Jeff played Dutchtown pretty tough during the season.
They did, and I'm so impressed with Central, the way they have dealt with some adversity, but they've got such a good quarterback, junior quarterback, in Wes Briscoe, and Will Briscoe is his brother is a wide receiver.
Davis,
the other way around.
Kid, Davis is a good receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a really good safety as well.
And their little running back, Antonio Dunn, is a sleeper. He's 3,000 yards in 2 years combined. Don Jones, again, they didn't make it a half a point away from making it. You've got so much good football in Louisiana, and Baton Rouge has really improved with the power rankings, with the ability of these teams. You used to hear just the New Orleans schools.
Right.
I'll ask Roe about that, but there's been a power shift with the teams that actually compete in this part of the state compared to the 80s when we were growing up.
Right.
Right. And I think Catholic will be back next year.
I think so too.
And Dunham. I think they're a young team.
Right.
And Woodlawn's a pretty young team.
Yeah, well, they're going to lose their quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see who they bring in next year, as Sterling Perryman is going to be graduating, also great kicker and soccer player. So it'll be interesting to see who they have coming up in the ranks.
Now we have a Lafayette audience. St.
Yes,
Thomas More will make a run. You've got some great teams in the playoffs from, Crowley made it, which is the suburb of Lafayette,
Right.
but they've got a shot to do well. What is your thoughts on the Lafayette teams?
Well, I was a little surprised. I thought we would have a few more Lafayette teams in. We really are a little sparse this year when we were looking at our playoff matchups. We
Acadiana.
could possibly have, of course, Acadiana. This week we'll have Cecilia and Bruley will be our Lafayette Acadiana game.
And Cecilia almost beat Parkview.
Right. Oh yeah, that
middle
was
of the
down to
season,
the
and that was head to
down
head.
the wire.
And Bruley's got a pretty good ball club. Eric
They
Willis,
do.
first year.
I'm glad Eric is doing well. Of course, Brady Perry did such a tremendous job with Bruley High School, but it's great to see a new coach come in, make some progress, and get them to the playoffs. It's been a while for them.
Now, I know you enjoy filming all your games because it's
We do.
community games.
Yeah, that's right.
And you get people involved. Go ahead and promote the show, Game of the Week. Let everybody know what time.
Every Friday, 6:30, we go live. Josh Ennis does the play-by-play. I'm back in the booth doing color. Of course, this week we'll have more of a football-type playoff appearance, pregame show where we'll talk more football. We'll talk about some of the matchups, and so it's always exciting there. Kickoffs is at 7 o'clock. We do replays at 10:30 Friday nights, Saturday mornings at 9:30, and Sunday mornings at 9:30. And Sunday evening at 6:30 as well.
And I think our replay is at 5:30, so it
That's
follows
right.
each other.
That was the plan. We planned
Look,
it just like that.
I know you went to Northwestern State.
Hey,
You're
I'm a Tiger fan at heart. I grew up in Baton Rouge.
But here's an LSU hat
Wow,
from
thank
Co-op
you very
Bookstore.
much. That's great.
A shirt from us, Jimmy.
Oh, cool.
And also, go out and eat on us at Bourbon Street Restaurant on Coursey Boulevard.
I certainly will.
And I appreciate you coming on
Thanks
tonight.
a lot, Leo. Appreciate it.
Do a good job. I hope Warren Capone and Kristen Life can pull that game out against Montgomery,
It's
who's an
gonna be
all-state
interesting.
quarterback,
Absolutely.
Cody Stroud. 6'3", 180, all-state quarterback. They have to overcome that. We'll be back in just a moment with more on Louisiana Football TV Magazine with Roe Brown, sportscaster / producer, long time in the business out in the New Orleans area. We'll be back in just a moment.